Hello everyone, this is Brother Birch, and welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to go over the Lesson 4 solution. And there are a lot of different solutions to this, but I'll show you guys what I did. And I haven't quite finished yet, so this video will kind of be done in two parts, where I show you what I've done and where I show you where I'm going with it. So this guy right here, it just says, hey, review the project rubric and stuff, which is really smart, because if I look at this, I can see exactly what I'll be graded on for this assignment. Okay, so you need to have it deployed to the web. You need to have the database all working, HTTP requests with these 4 different types of requests working, and API documentation in place. So these are the 4 main things that we're looking for this assignment, and the different ways in which you can get different levels of grading for each one of those. Also, it's not even going to get graded if you don't have a YouTube link, a GitHub link, and a Heroku link. So make sure to have all 3 of those. Okay. All right, let's go and actually look at what we're doing. So today is all about API documentation. So as far as the rest of this goes, it's pretty much done, right? We have all 4 of these working. The database is working great. We've already deployed it to Heroku, and it connects to MongoDB using config vars. So we're ready to rock there. We just have this last 20% chunk that we have to worry about. So let me show you what I've done. If I go to this lesson page, first of all, I basically did what we did here, right? I open up this guy and I open up this guy. And I looked back at my solution to this. If we just look at the solution on here, because everything's in place, right? I can just make the same swagger.json. I can make a new routes file. I just copied it from here. So what I did was I cloned from the lesson 3 solution. So let's see here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the lesson 3 personal solution. So I started here with what this code has. It doesn't have anything about Swagger or API documentation in here. And I made some changes to make it work locally. And here are the changes that are here. Okay, so this is showing us everything that I've changed since I cloned it. So let me show you these differences. Let me start with the package JSON. 2 dependencies got added. Oh, let me click over here. And package JSON. There we go. All right, 2 dependencies got added. We have Swagger UI Express and Swagger Auto Generate. Okay. And again, I just installed those based on the documentation here. So this one says, hey, go ahead and use --save dev. And then this one says, hey, just install it. Okay. And so that's why those ended up in different places in my package JSON file. And then I also added this command to my script so that I can run npm run swagger to generate that swagger.json file. Okay, we have the swagger.js file. Again, I just copied this from last week, or from the team assignment for this week. Okay, nothing has changed here. I left it exactly the same. Swagger.json is what got generated. Okay, and we can actually generate that here in a sec again. The index.js, I only changed one thing. This is for the routes. This is routes/index.js. And I just added 1 line of code here to say, hey, go ahead and also use these Swagger routes. And if I look at these Swagger routes, here's what there is. Okay. And again, this I didn't change either. This I just grabbed from the Team 4 solution also. Notice that nothing actually changed in my server.js file. Okay. In my team solution, I think I had some stuff here about it. But as I was looking at this, I'm like, wait a second, if I just have this referenced through the routes, that should be all I need, to use this stuff. And it was, and it worked out great. So let me delete this JSON first. And in the terminal here, I'm just going to run npm run swagger. So that command I put in there, it says success. It created our swagger.json. And now I should see, all these different routes. And so I have the API docs one, and I can just collapse this. And we have contacts. We have contacts get, contacts post, and then contacts based on an ID. We have contacts get and put and delete. And that looks like that's it. Okay. So pretty good looking swagger.json there. Now just let me run npm start. Make sure this all connects up Okay, that looks good. Listening on 8080. Oh, whoops. Locala. There we go. Okay. I should be able to hit one of our routes here. Okay, so that's good. And that new route that we have for the API documentation was just API docs. And look at that. That looks awesome. That looks awesome. Okay. I'm going to ignore this top one. If I just look at this contacts one, I can say try it out, execute, and here's our contacts. Looks great. Okay, if I scroll down, let me just get this ID here. When I say like get contacts by ID, I'll say try it out. I can put in this ID and it all works. Okay. I didn't test, I guess I could delete by an ID. We can test that one. Actually change something in our database here. And run that. And that looks great. Let me check MongoDB real fast. There's Ashley Weaver. Let's see if she got deleted. Down to 4. Yep, she's gone. So yeah, so that looks good. I'll test the put and post on Heroku. Let's see if we can get this up to Heroku. So I got this working locally, and I thought I'd include this next part in the video just because sometimes there are issues when you try to push up to Heroku, right? So first things first, what's going to help, I'm going to split this, and I'm going to go to my package JSON, and I'm going to run some of these commands here. So I'm going to say npm run lint. And perfect. I don't have any errors that I have to change. npm run format. Just in case anything needed to get formatted. Looks like something changed. I don't know what changed. Yeah, I don't know where it was. Anyways, but sweet. That's awesome. Okay, so I did those, and now I'm going to go ahead and push this up. Now, my remotes and branches are all funky because I have a bunch of different branches and remotes. So give me just 1 sec. I'm going to pause this video, and I'm going to push it up to GitHub. And then I'll resume. All right, so I just pushed up to GitHub, I pushed up to GitHub, and then I just logged in to Heroku to make sure that it was actually doing the build. And it is, I wonder what that is. Lesson 4, personal assignment complete. Yeah, that's what I just pushed. Okay, so you can see all the readmes there. Interesting. Okay, that's okay. So it's got our new stuff in here. Let's see if it actually worked. I'm going to view that build log. Looks like it succeeded without any errors. If I go, just open app. I'm going to click on open app. Okay, so that's good, right? This is how it's supposed to look at this point. Go to contacts. I can see our data. So I didn't break anything that was already there, it looks like. I could verify that if I just open up VS Code. I could click here on routes.rest and I could check like one of my requests and just make sure that I'm getting data back. Okay, so it looks like that's still good. And I'm just going to try this link, this route here that we put in, and see what happens. And wow, that's awesome. So it is here. I don't think any of it's going to work. Let's try it. Oh my heavens, it worked. It worked because my local host is still open. Okay, that's really funny that I did not expect. Okay, so let me stop this. So the reason why I'm surprised here is because I didn't change this, right? If I want to publish this Swagger documentation, this should match my publishing environment, so my Heroku app. If I try to execute this again, let me refresh this, try it out, execute. Yeah, look at the error we get. Failed to fetch. Possible reasons could be cores or a network failure, right? And that's just because my server is not running. It couldn't connect. It couldn't connect to this. Okay. So let's go ahead and fix that. So here is. Well, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, I'm gonna grab this URL. And what I'm going to do, I was looking at the Swagger documentation, and there are other ways to do this. But what I think I'm going to do right now is, I'm just going to leave it like this. If I ever want to generate it and test it locally, I can. But I'll go ahead and just leave it like this for now. Okay, so we'll go over to our changes. Oh, wait a second. I am in the wrong place. There we go. This is the right place. Like I said, I got all sorts of repositories and stuff open. Okay, so where was that? Controllers? Nope. Swagger.js. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put that there and save it. Check my remote. And that's the one I want. That's the one that Heroku's publishing to, which is why that's important. Okay, and I'll just say changing Swagger URL. You know, I might actually even have to run this Swagger JSON command again. So let me go ahead and do that there. Now you guys can see it. So I'm going to run npm run Swagger. And we should see a change in here. Yeah, now it has that as the host. Okay. So actually, I mean, what might be better. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like that. So this will work right now on my server. Hopefully it'll work at this location. And then if I ever wanted to test this locally again, I would just basically change the generated Swagger file to just use localhost right here. And like I said, there's a better way to do that, but I'm not going to go into that right now. All right, so we have these changes. I'll say changing Swagger URL to Heroku. And I'll hit sync changes. Okay, back to Heroku. I'm going to say activity. And that should just pop up here. Maybe, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, we can kind of watch what this is doing. It should work out well. We didn't really change much except for a couple of strings. But then hopefully we'll fix this error, right? You know, that's actually an interesting thing. Yeah, because if we left it like that with localhost, then nobody else would ever be able to use it, except for us. Okay, so let's open this thing up. And I'm going to say API docs. Nice. Oh, not that one. Contacts. Let's see if we can get some contacts. Interesting. So that's pretty easy to fix, right? It looks like we just have an extra slash where we shouldn't. So let me take that off. Just hard code that in there. Take that off too for the next time I generate it. And then I'll just say fixing Swagger deploy bug. And sync that. And again, back to Heroku. I just kind of want to watch this build and see when it finishes. I can go back to deploy, or no, activity. And then we can just watch this build again. That one was pretty fast. I did pause it for a couple of seconds, but that one went pretty fast. It probably recognizes that I really didn't change that much. Okay, and that looks good. So I'm gonna hit open app. I can close these. Okay, let's try this. API docs. Go to contacts. Try it out. Execute. Interesting. Yeah, so I want to make sure. Oh man, I didn't even see that. We have another thing in our string that we have to fix. So let's go back to VS Code real fast. Let's make sure that our swagger.json or swagger.js, so it says HTTP, and we put HTTPS right there. It makes me wonder if I could access this at HTTP. I can just test that real fast. And it looks like I can. Yeah, so that would work. That would work, right? So if I probably just have to take this off. Let me go back and look at that string to see what's being duplicated. So I have to take off that whole. Well, it's this whole thing, right? That's what's being added. So I'll take off all that. It'll add the HTTP : // It'll add that, and then that should work out for us. Okay, if we needed to add HTTPS in here, we could. Okay, that should work for us. I'm going to take that out for now and I'll save it. And let's go ahead and run npm run swagger. It'll make our new swagger.json. Third time is the charm for our Swagger deploy. Hit sync changes. Okay, that just finished. I'm going to hit open app. And let's try this. API docs. Context. Let's try it out. Execute. Man, it still didn't work. So I wish I knew a better way to test this. I'm guessing the only thing that has to change right here is that it wants HTTPS. So I'm going to go back here one last time, and I'm just going to switch this to HTTPS instead of having multiple things here. And then I'll go ahead and generate the JSON again. We should see HTTPS right there. Good. I'm going to say switching to HTTPS for Heroku. Just because that was what Heroku is defaulting to, and I really can't think of another reason why this would fail. I wish I knew a better way to test this on Heroku instead of having to wait for all these builds. But once we figure it out once, then it'll be the same time. Anytime we ever deploy to Heroku, it'll be basically the same thing. So let's come back over to activity. Let's check on our builds. Wait for this guy to finish. Okay, it finished. Let's open this up. And notice it's HTTPS here. I'm going to say API docs. Hit context, try it out. And that worked. Okay, so we just had to make sure to get this thing to come up exactly like we were seeing it when we were just testing it with that first get. Okay, so as promised, let me go ahead and just test each one of these. So I'm going to go in, let's see here. So we just tested the get all. Let's post a new contact. I'm just going to go to my REST file because I have a contact ready to go. Good old Ashley here. I'm going to come over and I can hit try it out. And I'm going to put that in there and hit execute. Did it work? Did it run? It ran. Look at that. So it says inserted, acknowledged true. And if I hit refresh over here, that should be up at 5. Yep. And there's Ashley. Sweet. So the post works. I'm going to scroll down some more. Get contacts by ID. Let's see if this works, right? Because this is what I do from the front end. If I got an object and they needed to get something else about the object, I'd use that ID to get it. And so let's see if we can get Ashley's info here. And hit execute. And that worked. We got our new person with that get one. Put. Let's go ahead and put something for Ashley too. I'm going to hit try it out. There's her ID. I'm going to copy this thing here. I'm going to take out ID. We don't want that. And I'm just going to say, oh, let's say she got married to some guy named Anderson. So we'll say AA, and her new favorite color is yellow. Birthday didn't change. I want to execute. And that all looks good. 204, that's a happy thing. Let's see if we were changed to Anderson. I'm going to hit refresh. Perfect. Look at that. Okay. So that's all looking good. And delete. Get ready to say goodbye to our friend Ashley here. Going to go over here. Hit try it out. Execute. We got a 204. That's good too. And let's hit refresh. Down to 4. Ashley's gone. Okay, so we did it, right? That's all we had to do. I should be able to. I mean, we just tested every single one of those in production, and so the only thing left that you guys would have to do for your guys' assignment would be to just make a YouTube video, right? Because you can just copy this link. And yeah, so anyways, I hope that this was helpful, kind of seeing this and seeing everything that I did for it. Sorry it ended up being a little longer than I had hoped. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.